Hello there guys, Brian here at 3TR, and I got a first for this channel's history, and this is going to be my very first TV show review. Now this is going to be significantly different than how I do my movie and video game reviews. How I've decided to do these reviews is that I'm going to start off by really talking about the entire episode, about everything that's in it. So for those of you who have not seen this episode or have not seen the show and don't want to be spoiled, I am going to leave like a little time thing right here telling you where you can skip, to the point where afterwards I'll be simply talking about my summary of the overall episode and my initial thoughts on really what this series is going to be about and a rating. So for starters, the entire episode of Blacklist, titled Pilot, like most series do, begins with James Spader's character, who goes by the name of, we'll call him Raymond Red. He walks into the apparently FBI headquarters, and he tells them their name, or he tells them his name, and they recognize him, and it's revealed that he is on the top 10 most wanted list of the FBI's list, and he's immediately arrested. Now, when they go in to arrest him and they, lock him up, they say, "Okay, why are you here?" And he says that there is going to be some kind of an attack. There's going to be a kidnapping, and I'm only going to talk to Agent Elizabeth Keene. And people wonder, like, who's Elizabeth Keene? Who's this person to him? Elizabeth Keene is played by Megan Boone, and I hope I'm saying that right. And apparently she is a rookie operative who's just starting to be in the FBI that very day, who's living with her new husband, and apparently they're going to adopt their first kid. And she's immediately flown in or driven to go see Raymond, and she sits down and talks to him, and he's basically telling her a lot of real intimate backstory about herself that not even the FBI know, and she's really upset. She's wondering, who is this guy and how does he know all this about me? And he basically tells her that there's going to be a kidnapping of a general's daughter, and if you do not recover her in a certain amount of time, a number of hours, then she is going to die. Now they immediately go after this general's daughter. They pick her up, and they're on their way to, I'm guessing, some type of safe house. And there's and as they're about to cross this bridge, there's some type of supposedly chemical spill, and it ends up being just a trap or an ambush. What happens is the convoy is attacked and the little girl is taken, and then when they go to confront Raymond about it, it's like, well, why didn't you tell us more about this? And he says, well, I told you when the attack was going to come, and so it's really your fault that the girl was captured. Now, as the episode progresses on, he basically tells them that, okay, you're going to play, if you want to figure out this, then you're going to do it the way I want to. You're going to play by my rules. I'm only going to talk to Elizabeth. And as it goes on, there's a lot of cluing. He's he's looking at their evidence. He says, you got it all wrong. This terrorist, whoever this guy wants to do, is someone I know, and he's not going to do it for selfish reasons. He wants to make it personal, and Elizabeth figures out that he's going after this particular general's daughter because the general was responsible for a chemical attack that ended up killing his family, and so he basically is making this a personal attack. And as the episode goes along, there's some moments of back and forth action between Raymond and Elizabeth, and she's really angry because he tells her that that he knows something about her husband that she doesn't. She's real angry about this. She says, "You don't know anything about me," and he says, "If you say so." And the whole episode really ends as Elizabeth does manage to figure out really what the big plan is. And what it is that this terrorist is using this little girl, straps her to a chemical bomb, and wants for this bomb to go off at a zoo where a bunch of kids are at. So basically it's going to be like this major incident, major attack that kills lots of kids. And Elizabeth gets the kid, and obviously she doesn't know how to disarm it. But then some guy who apparently is a friend of Raymond's kind of runs up and disarms the bomb and runs off with it. And then Raymond shows up, and he says, well, he just wanted that bomb because he's a collector of it. And by the end of the episode, he's basically telling the FBI, and the FBI says, well, thanks for your help, you're going back in a jail cell. And he says, well, I don't think that's going to happen. That's just the beginning, because I have what I like to call the Blacklist. And what the Blacklist is, apparently, it's a list of terrorists or criminals that the FBI do not know about. And apparently these are serious threats. These are like, I don't know, the top elite, just threats to America that even the FBI are not aware of. And he's only going to help them take them down one at a time by doing it his way. And he has a bunch of really specific rules about how he's going to be moved around, who he's going to communicate with, what type of security measures he's going to take. And by the end of the episode, Elizabeth, she's cleaning up her house because apparently her husband was attacked in the middle of this episode, and finds this box revealing that her husband is not who he's not who he says he is, and he has a bunch of different identities. And she goes to confront Raymond about it, and he basically says, "Oh, let me guess, you found out something about your husband that you didn't know," and that's where the episode ends. I'll tell you, this is actually a really great start to this series. The two main things that I take away from this is, one, what is Raymond's motivation? Why would he want to help the FBI take out these members of the Blacklist? Because they're criminals just like him. So I'm trying to figure out what is his motive. Why would he want to take them out? Maybe he wants them out of the way so he could draw attention away from himself, and maybe he's planning something in the background or whatnot. Another question that I get from this is why Elizabeth? Why is she so special? Because she's a rookie, and he's never met her before until that day. But apparently he knows so much about her that she seems to be a key player in whatever he's planning, and we just don't know enough yet. And so I'm really curious to see what the next number of episodes are going to bring. What part is Elizabeth going to play in Raymond's plan? And I have to tell you, James Spader's performance as a villain, real interesting. He definitely has that Moriarty-like type presence where he doesn't get angry. He's always in a calm state, and he always seems to always know more than he is giving. He's only going to give them clues, but he sees the bigger picture. He knows he could solve all these mysteries. He could take out all these guys himself, but he wants them to do it. So he's definitely planning something of his own. And so in a whole, I would give the first episode of the Blacklist series, I'm going to give it a 3.5. It's definitely a good start to the series. I'm absolutely looking forward to the next episode, and I really would like to know your guys' thoughts if you did see this episode, if there were things that I may have missed that I didn't mention. And with that, that is my first review of this television series. If you like this review, please like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check for me my future television show reviews, movie, and video topics. Now, I would like to state right now that do not count on me to have these videos up on a schedule, because I do have work. So there may be some Tuesdays where I will have to work. I'll have to watch the episodes maybe the next day or when they're available online, and then I will review them. But I will try to get all these reviews up kind of close to every week as I can. And like always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.